Hey guys, my Kickstarter copy of Epic came in! Yay! So this is White Wizard's new game. These are the guys that gave us Star Realms, Rob Doherty and Darwin Kastle. So like Star Realms, Epic is all out of one small box. And then there's promos. But so it's one game, all out of this one little box. It plays a lot like a CCG, but there's no collectible aspect to this game. So also, like Star Realms here, we have these 4 different factions, different colors, that they're gonna interplay with each other. You get bonuses for matching some of these colors as you play the cards out of your deck. But that is pretty much where the similarities end between Epic and Star Realms. The gameplay is very different. This plays a lot more like a CCG such as Magic, a lot more like that rather than a deck builder. Though you can play with drafting mechanics, as well as there are pre-constructed, there's shuffle and deal, a whole lot of different formats that you can play all out of this one little box. So that is a quick rundown of the game. Now I've gotten to play the print and play a fair amount now, so I have a decent idea of how this game plays out and feels. And I'm just so excited to see the other half of the cards and this huge stack of promos. I did not expect this many extra cards, so I'm super happy that I ordered the extra promos there. So let's break it open and check out Epic. I have been highly anticipating this game, so if my hands shake a little, then forgive me because I'm just really excited about this. So let's take a look. There's a nice little pull tab here on the shrink. There it goes. Okay, off with the top, off with the bottom. Okay, and more shrink wrap on the inside. So, okay, nothing else in there. Have the rule book, nice and small. Actually, when I printed out my rule book on the print and play, actually, some of these pages didn't print out, so I kept on having to reference the PDF file. Not sure why that happened, but here we go. We've got the rules, and here are the pages that will be used a lot. So the thing with this game is there are a lot of keywords. We have 4 pages of keywords here, alphabetized because there's that many. These keywords are not all self-explanatory, and for us veteran Magic players, some of them are a little confusing. And even for some of us Star Realms playing, the recycle here is not quite the same. So, and even some of the keywords reference other keywords. So tons of keywords going on here. And at least from my experience in the print and play, it seems like there was probably room in the text boxes to explain more of the keywords. They did for on a few of the cards, but I really wish they had included more of the explanations for these keywords and terms. So here we go. That's a little rule book. We have little credits. Okay, nice little rule book. One thing I have heard about this is some of the cards are actually already being talked about being errated. Not necessarily for rules, but for clarification. So if some of these cards are different when the official release comes out, that's why. Okay, layers of shrink. Whoa, it's a lot of cards. Okay. Oh, there's the official back. Very pretty. So one thing that really drew me initially to Star Realms was the very nice art that they used, and White Wizards has continued that here with the art on Epic. Oh, the tokens are different. Okay, so we have, start off here with our wolf token, a little 2/2 token here. And on the flip side we have the zombies. Those are creepy looking zombies. Oh boy. Brains. Because what other quote would you possibly use for zombies? A bit better to eat you with. Oh, very nice. Love the flavor. Okay, so we have 4 of these flip tokens. And then here, okay, the demon tokens look the same as the print and play. What is thy bidding, my master? Okay, so 4/4, and the human tokens. So these look all the same. These 2 look the same. Looks like the other tokens got a little bit of an upgrade. So there we go, and 4 of those. My experience with playing the print and play, this is not going to be enough tokens. Especially if you play Demon Breach, this is just not enough. I mean, you can get out 3 at a chunk on one turn, and then get another 3 out on your next turn. So that's not going to be enough tokens. So there's going to be either using counters or print out your own extra tokens or something. Because 4 of each, especially when they're double-sided like that, that's just not going to be enough. Alright. Oh, right off the top here we have Amnesia. There's been some talk about this. This is just too many cards for me to hold in my hand. So I'm going to put them down and we'll just take a quick look at these as we go. So, Amnesia, a Sage event. This is an event, so you can see they've got the dots up here, which mean that you can play it on your opponent's turn. So if a champion has these dots, then you know that you can play them. They have ambush and they can be played on your opponent's turn. Otherwise, you can only play them on your turn. But events can be played on your opponent's turn. So it says banish target player's discard pile. Whoa, and recycle. Or pay gold to draw 2 cards. So for a game where one of your win conditions is to draw out your deck, that is harsh. That is really harsh. So there we go. Wow. So this card's got a little purple gem. That is for when you're playing certain cubes, cube format. You can judge the rarity by the gem here. So the red gem is kind of rare, I guess, but for a non-CCG game, then there's actually not really rarity. There kind of is, but there we go. You can see all of these have just 1 card of each. So, Ancient Chant, draw 2 cards, Recall, so you can just pay a gold to get this out of your discard pile. This card leaves your discard pile, you draw a card. So, bunch of draw, little event, cost you your gold. There you go. A lot of draw there. Angel of Death. So it seems these are in alphabetical order. Here we go. Here's our champion. You can see it's got the little wings at the top. So you know it's a champion. But it doesn't have ambush, so there's no dots. So this one's Airborne. Angel, Airborne, makes sense. Loyalty 2, break all of the champion. So this is where the colors come in. If you reveal 2 other cards from your hand that share the faction or the alignment here, that share that, then you can do their loyalty ability to reveal 2 from your hand. So there's some balancing and judgments you're going to have to make there, whether you want to give that information away in order to break all other champions. Nasty. So there you go. And that's when it comes out if you reveal those cards. And here we have a keyword explanation. Airborne champions can only be blocked by other airborne champions. That's a keyword that makes total sense. But loyalty 2, you know, not self-explanatory. Alright, we have our Angel of Light, Good Angel Champion, Airborne Ambush, Tribute, gain 5 health. So when this comes out on the board, 5 health. That's it. And then Loyalty 2, again with reveal, gain another 5 health. Nice, and this has got the ambush so you can see the dots at the top there. Okay, I'm just going to go through these kind of quickly since there's a lot of cards. So we have our Angel of Mercy. That's we've seen this all over the art. So there's that. Angelic Protector, another very pretty art. The angels are all so nicely done. Airborne Ambush, Tribute, 5/9. Apocalypse. I know another card by that name. Doesn't quite do what it does though, but it lets you draw 2 cards or break all champions if it's your turn. Nasty. Army of the Apocalypse. Again, we have the rarity here. Avenging Angel. Banishment. Banish target champion, and whoever's turn is gets to draw a card. So a little trade-off here, whether you want to play on your opponent's turn, that actually gives them a little extra. Bellowing Minotaur. Blitz Breakthrough. Tribute, your wild champions get +2 attack and +2 defense this turn, and you can recall this. That's not too bad there. That's again why you would want to stack your deck with a lot of the same colors here. Wild being the green faction there. Bitten. Saw this in the print and play. Draw 2 cards, break target champion, and you get to put a zombie token into play. The zombie tokens are kind of meh, so not really a whole lot of advantage. You're not giving up too much there. The Blue Dragon. Brave Squire. There you go. Burrowing Worm. Holy cow. 18/18 with breakthrough. Oh my gosh. That is hugely nasty. It doesn't do a whole lot else, but who needs to do anything else when you have the 18/18 breakthrough? Yikes. Oh, you have a Cave Troll. So if you play a green, another wild card that costs you your gold, that's what triggers this ally ability here, that you can recall it. Ceasefire, draw 2 cards, champions cannot attack this turn. That's not too bad. This is pretty like the scene here in the art. Very nice. Chomp! Here's T-Rex! Hi T-Rex! Corpse Taker, Evil Human Champion. Okay, so we do have evil humans. I don't think we saw any in the print and play, so there was some debate whether or not there were going to be evil humans. Well, guess what? There are evil humans. Just a 1/1 here. It's going to come out for free. But for tribute, can return a target gold cost champion card from your discard pile to your hand. Digs them up. Digs them up out of that graveyard or discard pile. Can't call it a graveyard, I suppose. And then your expend ability here, banish target card from any discard pile. That is useful. There are some massively difficult cards to deal with that get recall. So if you can get them out of their discard pile and on the bottom of their deck, just buried down there where they can't get to them for a while, that is super useful. Alright, Courageous Soul. So we have a good human champion, ambush, Your champions get +2 attack this turn. Not too bad if you've got a whole lot of those tokens out, or just a whole lot of creatures out, which the good faction seems to do a lot of. Can just, Zerg rush the board with a bunch of those human tokens. Okay, Crystal Golem, Ambition targetable. We've seen that in the print and play. Dark Assassin, again, this expendability, break target champion. And note that you can block with your champions and then still use their expendability. When they block, they get flipped upside down, but then you can still use their expend and put them to the sideways position here, or tap, but we can't say tap. Alright, we have Dark Knight, Ambush Blitz, Unbreakable on your turn, Dark Leader, Deadly Raid, draw 2 cards. The blue does a lot of drawing. Like I said, the one of the win conditions is drawing out your deck, so getting a lot of draw is very useful. There's this Aura ability. Champions gain unblockable and +2 attack this turn. Not a bad use of your gold there. Demon Breach. This card, I swear, I feel like every game I played with the print and play, whoever ended up with this in their deck won. This is not, I didn't feel like this was a single win condition, but it got you a long way there. On your turn, 3 demon tokens into play. Otherwise, you just get 2. Oh wow, you only get 2 decently big tokens on your opponent's turn? That's huge. Alright, then you get to recall it. You lose 1 health. Ooh, 1 health. But you can do it again. So if you play your cards right, you can be getting 3 demons out on your turn every time. That, it goes a long way. You just create a wall of these decently powered tokens. Huge blockers that can also deal a fair amount of damage. Alright, Divine Judgment. Draw 2 cards, or if it's your turn, banish all champions. Wow. Djinn of the Sands. Airborne Blitz with Tribute. Put 3 counters on this card. So you're going to need counters. I don't know if any of the cards I've seen before had the counters, so something dice or whatever to keep track of that. Then you can expend to remove a counter from this card to draw a card. Not bad. Go Drain Essence. Just deal a whole bunch of damage to a champion and get that much health. Wow. Alright, Drinker of Blood, Airborne, Unbreakable on your turn. You gain 2 health and each opponent loses 2 health. Erase, draw 2 cards, return target champion's owner's hands. I know I said I was going to go fast, but I'm just so excited to look at all these cards. I'll try and hurry it up. Faith Pegasus, good Pegasus champion. Free for Airborne Blitz, Tribute to recycle. When he attacks or blocks one of your human champions, they gain Airborne this turn, and attack or block with this card. So they just hop on the Pegasus for a ride. Feint, draw 2 cards, remove all of your attacking or blocking champions from the battle, and prepare them. That's got some tactical use there. Final Task. Evil Event, draw 2 cards, put a champion from any discard pile into play under your control. Gains Blitz this turn, break it at the end of the turn. Nice. Fire Shaman, deal 3, your ally ability, deal 3 target damage to a target. Alright. Fireball. Is there a fantasy setting that does not have Fireball? I don't know. Deal 3 damage to a target. I would have expected a little more for something called Fireball. Or you can deal 3 damage to a target player and each champion they control for your gold. Okay, that's more like a Fireball. So There you go. I play with some more fire here with Flame Strike. 8 damage to a target. Pow. And that target can be a player. So that can just be a last minute surprise, use your gold, finish them off. 8 damage. Ouch. And Flash Fire, or Wild Event. Do some damage or draw some cards. Force Mage Apprentice. And just a little bit of damage. And you get to prepare them. So if you've expended them to deal the 2 damage, if you play another blue card for its gold, you can bring them right back up. And that means that they can use it again. So not terrible. Forked Lightning, another classic spell in any fantasy setting here. Deal 5 damage to each of up to 2 targets. Sometimes lightning strikes twice. Our Frost Giant, pretty big beast with some good defense. Blitz, no ambush though. With Tribute, expend all champions target player controls. You freeze them up. Winter has come. It's not coming. Winter came. Winter has come. And here we have our Gold Dragon, Airborne Blitz. Your good champions have Righteous. That's pretty big. Whenever your good champions would deal damage, you gain that much health. That's pretty big. Guilt Demon. It's free. Not a huge deal here. Let's see. Hasty Retreat. Go. Return target attacking champion to its owner's hand if it was attacking you, and once unblocked, its controller draws a card. The High King, unbanishable. Loyalty 2 gives it Blitz. Okay, but so I guess you can immediately banish a target champion, but otherwise he's got no attack, so there's that. Hunting Raptors. Ambush Loyalty 2 Blitz. Deal 4 damage to a target. And here's poor T-Rex again. It is Hurricane. Draw 2 cards. Deal 9 damage to each champion. Okay. Ice Drake. Cost you your gold. Airborne Ambush. Loyalty 2. Expend all champions target players control. So that blue just kind of freezes them all up. Nice, because if they're expended, they can't block. Infernal Gatekeeper. This is some wicked looking art. I like that. You can pay health to get a demon token to play. Those are pretty nice. Inheritance of the Meek. Just draw some cards. Banish a bunch of champions. Inner Demon. Draw 2 cards. Break target champion. Inner Peace. Just gain 10 health. And then, you know what? Go ahead and bring it back so you can do it again. You can just keep doing that. If you've got enough of your good faction going on, just gain all the life you want ever. And hope that your opponent doesn't draw out their deck before you kill them. Let's see. Juggernaut. Breakthrough Blitz. Loyalty 2. Draw a card. Unbreakable on your turn. The Jungle Queen. Is she a jungle queen or a pirate jungle? She's got her little parrot there. Keeper of Secrets. Decent little card. Kong, another big massive creature. Let's see, Lash. Okay, this one's new. She's riding a dinosaur. Oh my goodness. That's hysterical. Deal 1 damage to target champion. It gains breakthrough and +4 attack this turn. So She's goading the poor T-Rex into battle, dealing him damage so that he becomes more ferocious. This T-Rex, man, I tell ya, it gets in all sorts of nasty situations. He has to really stand up for himself, honestly. Lightning Storm. There we go. 6 damage divided up. Lord of the Arena. Blitz, Tribute. He must be blocked if able. Lurking Giant. Pretty big guy here with the ambush. And here's a card that explains the keywords. I don't know. I wish there was more keyword explanation on these cards. It's the biggest hurdle to getting to feeling comfortable with this game is just all the keywords. And the battle flow is another one that kind of trips you up with making the game feel very comfortable. Anyway, lying in wait, draw 2 cards, champion is attacking alone, you get to banish it. Okay, here's Medusa. Not too bad. Memory Spirit, little butterfly wings. Airburn Ambush with Tribute, you can return target event card from your discard pile to your hand. So not if you don't have a lot of cards with recall, you can give them recall, essentially. Mighty Blow. We have our cost your gold. A Wild Giant event. Draw 2 cards or target champion gains Unbreakable and +10 attack this turn. Yikes. Okay, Murderous Necromancer. So evil human, another evil human here. Loyalty 2. You get 3 zombie tokens, which they're okay, but when we compare them to the demons, they're not much. And then expend, break target champion, put a zombie token into play under your control. That's pretty much what you'd expect a Necromancer to do. Here's our Muse. Another Necromancer, Loyalty 2 with Blitz. Champion from any discard pile into play under your control. Okay, Noble Unicorn. Decent sized champion here. Ogre Mercenary. Pack Alpha. This card will do you some work too. You get your tokens out and giving your other wild champions extra attack and defense. Palace Guard. The Plague. Let's see here. Deal 1 damage to target player and to each champion they control. Draw a card and recycle. Or you can just break all champions. That's not bad. Plentiful Dead. Put a zombie into play. If you pay health, recall. It's a free card, so. Priest of Kalnor. Tribute, gain 4 health. The good faction does a lot of this health gain. Loyalty 2, target champion gains Unbreakable and Untargetable this turn. That's nice. Priestess of Angeline. That's some nice looking art there. Otherwise, she's kind of mediocre. Psionic Assault. Target player discards 2 cards at the end of the turn. That can really hurt, and you can recall that to do it again. There's our little Pyromancer. Rage, Wild Event. Get to buff up a creature, or you can draw some cards. Some options there at least. And he's our T-Rex. He's a 12/10 with Loyalty 2 to draw some cards. And he has to attack every turn if able. Not a happy dinosaur right here. Not one bit. And no wonder! Look at what happened. He is just constantly getting beat up here. Draw 2 cards, choose 3 targets, deal 3 damage to the first, 4 to the second, and 5 to the third. Here we go. Rally the people, get some tokens out. Rampaging Worm, enormous creature with Blitz. Resurrection, draw 2 cards, put a champion card in your discard pile that was broken this turn, return it to play. That is an awfully specific ability there. Sea Hydra, tribute, draw a card, and of each turn, put a counter on this card for each point of damage it took this turn. Wow. Cut off its head and you get 2 more. Yikes. And continuing with the theme of the sea, River Sea Titan, untargetable, with tribute, return champion to its owner's hands. Just wash them away. Secret Legion. 6 human tokens into play. You only get 4. You only get 4 human tokens. So there's cards that use more than the tokens you're given. And they get Blitz, so have fun with the army that just came out into play for 1 gold. Here we go, Soul Hunter. When this card is broken, deal 5 damage to target player. If the card's in your discard pile at the start of your turn, you just get it back. That's pretty awesome. So Spike Trap, deal 5 damage, recycle. Stand Alone. Draw 2 cards, or starting with you. Each player chooses a champion they control and break all other champions. So if your opponent's got a huge amount of tokens but none of them are particularly great, that'd be a nice one to throw out there. So Standard Bearer, tribute, put 2 human tokens into play, and your other good champions have +2 attack. Alright. Steel Golem, untargetable, loyalty 2. Strafing Dragon. Our Succubus, airborne, tribute loyalty. Banish some champions. Surprise attack, draw a card. Put a champion from your hand into play. So, okay. Unbanishable, tribute, put 2 human tokens into play. Lots of tokens. Okay, put 3 zombie tokens into play. So, these little guys. Thought Plucker. Ambush unblockable. When this card damages a player, that player discards a card, and you draw a card. Not bad. Thrasher Demon. Blitz. Break any champion damaged by this card. So that would be kind of like Death Touch. We can't say Death Touch, I bet. When this card attacks, you get countered. You get 2 counters on it. So it starts off pretty little and it just keeps getting bigger. So if it can survive that first block, or if it gets unblocked, then you get a little advantage there. Okay, getting down to the bottom here. Thundarus. Airborne and banishable. Other dragons get +5/+5. And he's the Dragon Lord of the North. You're going to need him in case of winter coming. Time Bender. Alright, Ambush. Loyalty 2 gets Blitz. Here we go. Oh, you get to banish a target 0-cost champion or return target champion to its owner's hand. Not too bad. Kind of would like to see him be a little more powerful there, actually. Time Walker. Return all other champions to their owner's hands. Okay, and here we actually have an explanation of the loyalty. transform. You can banish target champion, even if it's unbanishable. That champion's controller puts a wolf token into play. I like the art on that. Oh, we have another dinosaur, Triceratops! T-Rex's lovely herbivore friend. It's got breakthrough and tribute to draw a card. Try horror. Ooh. Breakthrough, and when he's broken, you get some demons, so they kind of break apart into demons. Turn, gain control of another champion, unquenchable thirst, evil vampire event. Banish X evil cards from your discard pile. Deal X +1 damage to target champion. Gain X +1 health. So you've got some decisions to make here about how you want to balance this. Ooh, here's the Vampire Lord. Not terrible. Vital Mission. Banish target champion's control gains health equal to its offense. If you were the champion's controller, you draw 2 cards. Yeah. Warrior Golem. Is this like an Iron Man reference here? It's either a mech or Iron Man in there. Loyalty to Blitz. This card goes in your discard pile from anywhere you get to recycle. Watchful Gargoyle. Wave of Transformation, another card with options. It's a White Dragon. Well, it's a 5/5 airborne that you get out for free. And you can tribute, if you played a 1-cost good card for this turn, recycle. Tribute when it comes out. If you played a gold card, you can recycle. Here's the White Knight. Nice little guy. Winter Fairy. Wither. Good way to get rid of a bunch of tokens, or at least deal a lot of damage to them. Wolf Companion. Nice. Wolf's Call. Just get a bunch of wolves, and they gain Blitz this turn. So, yikes. Word of Summoning. Put a demon token into play and recycle. A free demon, I guess. A little extra. Down to our last 2 cards. The Worm Hatchling. Breakthrough. Get counters on the card, so it gets can get a little bigger. But he's a baby worm, it's just a hatchling. Right, and the Zombie Apocalypse. Draw 2 cards, break all champions, then each player puts a zombie token into play for each champion in their discard pile. So that would be nice if they've got a bunch of tokens out. Those tokens aren't going to go into their discard pile, so they're not going to get zombies for the tokens you break this way. So there we go. That is all 120 cards that come in Epic. Okay. So because I was a Kickstarter backer, I got the option to get the promos here. So let's take a look at what we've got in here. At least it looks like we've got some extra tokens, which is good because you do not have enough in that base box. Okay, it looks like this is an exclusive alternate art here. Cool, it says Kickstarter backer. There we go. This is a little different. Demon. Some extra zombies. Right, these are the zombie tokens that we saw in the print and play. And the wolves that we saw in the print and play. So that's what happened to that art. They became the exclusive alternate art. Okay. What's going on here? Oh. Okay. This Elder God card begins in play near your deck and it cannot be removed from play by any means. You begin the game with 90 health with a 6-card hand, with an 8-card maximum hand size. You can use Elder God cards against another Elder God or against a Hydra team of 3 players. At the start of your turn, draw an extra card and gain an extra gold. At the start of your opponent's turn, gain an extra gold. Okay, and these are the suggested deck lists. So these are like little pre-built extra different ways to play the game. That is really nifty that they included this. Okay, so they don't all... Okay, so it looks like they all play the same way with the 90 health, the 6-card hand, but they have these different suggested deck lists, and they all looks like they all require 3 packs to play because there's only one of each card in the box. So that's pretty cool. So here we go. Rixus, Dancer of Destruction. Banish 3 cards from your discard pile. Deal 3 damage to a target. Use this ability only once per turn. Shadia, the Shadow Walker. Banish 2 cards from your discard pile. Put a zombie token into play. Use this ability only once each turn. Banish 4 cards from your discard pile. Draw a card. These are all just used once per turn, so I'm not going to bother reading that every time. Valencia, Justice Bringer. Banish 1 card from your discard pile. Put a +1/+1 counter on target champion. And, you know, they included here, for your reference, the gender of each of these demigods. That's kind of, alright. Well, here we have the Elder God, the Dark One. At the start of your turn, either return target champion to its owner's hand and that player discards a card, or put 2 zombie tokens into play and gain 4 health. Nice. Furious, Father Nature. An Elder God at the start of your turn, either gain 10 health or deal 6 damage to a target. Oh my gosh, these are really going to mix up your game with all these different options. This is pretty cool. Now, Helena the Valiant. At the start of your turn, either put 6 human creature tokens into play with Blitz or expend all opponent's champions. Zaltessa the Huntress. At the start of your turn, either put 4 wolf tokens into play with Blitz or break target champion. That's pretty cool. I was not expecting these. Or just all extra cards for the game. Aftershock. Wild Event. Deal 5 damage to a target. Recall, when this card leaves your discard pile, deal 2 damage to each opponent. Cleansing Light. Draw 2 cards. Banish all token champions. The Dark Prince. Airborne Blitz. Put a demon token out. Elder Greatworm. Can't gain powers or abilities. But he's a 30/30. You only start with 30 life. So, holy cow, hope you've got a blocker out or that is game over. Forbidden Research, draw 2 cards, break a champion you control to recall. Hill Giant, just kind of a big guy, but he's a free card, so that's nice. Hunting Petrosaur, Ambush, Airborne, Tribute, you can break a target champion with 2 or less. Just pick off the weaklings. Inspiration, banish 2 cards from your discard pile If they are both Sage, draw 2 cards, otherwise draw 1 card. Kalnor's Blessing, target champion gains Unbreakable and Untargetable this turn. Recycle or draw 2 cards. Knight of the Dawn, Blitz Tribute, may banish target evil token champion. That's pretty specific. Necromancer Apprentice, Blitz, banish target card from any discard pile. If the card is a champion, you put a zombie into play. New Dawn, draw 2 cards, or if it's your turn, banish all champions. And starting with you, each player may put a champion from their hand into play. Ritual Sacrifice, draw 2 cards or break target champion. They gain equal health equal to its defense. Scrap Golem, if this card entered play from your hand, it has loyalty to Blitz. Banish a card from your discard pile, put a token champion into play that is a copy of this card. Okay, so that's why the copies don't have loyalty. Searing Blast, deal 7 damage to a target. Any player damaged by this card cannot gain health this turn. Nice against all that crazy good health gain righteousness stuff. Spite, lose any amount of health and deal twice that much damage to target champion. Or draw 2 cards. Teleport, remove target champion from play. They return to play as a new champion under its owner's control, either expend or prepared with Blitz, and draw a card. Time Master, wow. I've heard some talk about this card. So Ambush, you can expend it to draw a card, okay, but you can expend it to gain a gold. Wow, this card, because you only get 1 gold a turn, and that gold is precious. There's a whole lot of cards that use your gold. There's not that many free cards. So this will do some real work for you. You're never going to attack with this guy or block. You just want to keep him out as long as you can, as early as you can. What a utilitarian card there. That's really going to do some work for any deck. Warrior Angel, Airborne Blitz. When this card attacks, you may banish target evil token champion. Okay, pretty specific again. And the Owl Familiar. Free here, 1/1 Airborne. Tribute, you may return target gold event card from your discard pile to your hand. There we go. Those are the promotional cards. I'm trying to find a way to tell the difference between these and the regular cards. Usually there would be some sort of indication that it's a promo card, but I'm not seeing that, so I guess there's not going to be any restrictions on any tournament pre-constructed play about having promo cards, so there you have it. And that's epic! If you liked the video, then let me know with a little thumbs up. I love seeing those. And leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the game. I know a lot of the backers were feeling a little disappointed when they discovered that this game is not Fantasy Star Realms. Star Realms is a fantastic game. I really enjoy it. It's got so much diverse gameplay out of such a small box, and that is what Epic does as well. But it is not a deck builder. This is a lot like a CCG, but all out of a small box with a whole lot of different ways to play. I mean, it really excels at that. You're not going to have to commit to the huge monetary, the monetary commitment that a CCG will take. You're not going to be buying packs and packs, and you're not going to be spending a lot of money on buying singles to build your awesome deck. You just have to buy 1 little box, or up to 3 little boxes if you want to do the ultimate constructed format. And you can play up to 4 players out of this 1 box. There is really very little comparison to a game like it. So this is really for the people who were disaffected by games such as Magic, when they weren't willing to put in the huge monetary commitment that a game like that can require, but they still like the type of gameplay and battling it out on the tabletop. That's what this game does. So I hope you like it. So far I'm rather impressed with it and I'm enjoying playing it. So thanks for watching. Bye!